Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Civil Engineers Benefit from the AEC Collection webinar. We're just going to be waiting here a few more minutes for some other people to arrive, and then we should go ahead and get started. All right. So I guess we can start off now. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Carolina Fernandez. I work in both marketing and sales here at MicroCAD. And today, again, we will be seeing the webinar from Mike Caruso for Civil Engineers Benefit from the AEC Collection. He'll be going over all the details later on, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware of our Q&A box that we have here in the webinar. Be sure to be using that chat. We'll be going over the questions at the end, and be sure to look out for our contact information as well at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, you can always give us a call or send us an email. But for now, I'll be sure to pass it on to Mike.
Thanks, Caroline. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay, I think we should be up and running.
Looks good.
Great. And let me just swap monitors here so that you get the full slideshow. All right. So today's webinar is going to be about the AEC collection and the workflows that it allows us to perform. Basically, the AEC collection is a full set of BIM and CAD tools, which are supported by a cloud-based common data environment. So what's in the AEC collection? So most of us on the call today are avid Civil 3D users. So you'll see Civil 3D is part of the AEC collection, along with a host of other applications that you probably may not have heard of. Some you may. But it's quite the library of tools to help with these workflows that we have. So you'll see in here, there are Revits, AutoCADs, Infoworks, Navis works. And we get into some of the smaller niche products as well, structural bridge design, 3D Max for rendering. So we're going to look at portions of this. It might look overwhelming at first, like, oh my, do I have to learn all these products just to do my job? But no, not necessarily, but no doubt there's something in your day that is going to come up that Civil 3D is not the perfect answer for. So you can look to this collection for other tools that may help your scenario. So let's take a look at this. So if we look at three common workflows or disciplines, we have site design, transportation, and water resource management. So the first grouping here pertaining to site design is an example of how maybe the Civil 3D and just a few of these other products from the collection kind of go together for site design. So typically we see Infoworks, Revit and Recap, Navis and Docs. Towards the middle, looking at transportation and roadway design, again with Civil 3D and Infoworks, we may just look into adding in some of the AutoCAD and the AutoCAD verticals for assisting with that. But again, not having to learn the whole library, we're just picking 5 or 6 to kind of go with that workflow. And then last in the third box for water resources, yeah, we may look to Plant 3D rather than Civil 3D because of the extensive library of P&ID and symbols and pipes and pipe library that it has. Again, and we also have Revit as well for 3D modeling. Certain part families or pump systems that could be done in Revit. Navisworks Manage becomes available for collision detection and so on. So we'll look at primarily today the site design workflow. I think that majority of people have site design in day-to-day. We don't see not a lot of new roads and highways coming in. So let's take a look. Now, basically the way Autodesk breaks down the model of the project is starting with the conceptual phase, where you kind of get the ideas from the client. What do they want to build? Where do they want to have it built? And does it work in the surroundings? And so we have basically the need for getting existing ground information or existing conditions. What's the survey out there? Is there any GIS data out there that can assist with this? Can we go out and do a 3D scan or a drone flight to quickly grab data and bring a point cloud in and look at that? So it's all very conceptual. We just want to know what's going on in their part of the world where they'd like to build this project. So the products that can help with that, we have Infoworks 360. So this is sort of like a 3D GIS platform, and it also has design abilities built into it as well. But it can take data from many sources, Esri, other GIS formats, AutoCAD, Civil 3D, aerial imagery, point clouds, and you can kind of put it all together quickly and get a visual of what's on the ground out there right now. To assist with that, the collection has Recap 360, so a point cloud viewer, and those point clouds again can go into Infoworks. And we have AutoCAD Map 3D. This is one of the core parts of Civil 3D that not many people delve into, but it has a lot of good GIS cleanup tools in it. So you can bring in line work from GIS sources, which aren't always that accurate or drawn correctly. And this can clean up that geometry for you, get it presentable, and then bring it into Infoworks. And then we have raster design. So we can work with GIS aerial imagery, or we could be scanning in legacy documents from paper on large format scanners. It handles all kinds of image formats, and they can clean those images up, again, for better presentation. And then you can bring those into Infoworks 360 as well. So this whole conceptual plan, before we even walk out there on the site, we can grab digital information from anywhere and put it together. Not as easy on just AutoCAD or Civil 3D. They support some GIS formats and they can look at images, but we know that it's not optimized for performance with large data sets. And so Infraworks 360 really fills that gap. Now at the bottom, we have Autodesk Docs, and all the information that we have coming from online, once it's added to our project folder, we can share that up to the Autodesk cloud. And now you've opened it up to everyone in the team. Storage is no longer an issue. Versioning is no longer an issue. And we can communicate and share the data much easier than just a local server, inside the building. So let's move on, take a look at the modeling stage. So at this point, we're starting to look at a little bit more precise layout. Where's the building going to go exactly, or where's the cul-de-sac and right-of-way and so on. We're going to start getting a little more detailed. Maybe we need some volume information as well. We're also going to be producing construction documents. All right, we're going to do that 60% plan and see how things start to look. So let's see how the software helps us with that. So again, carrying forward, Infoworks 360 is still there. There's design tools in Infoworks, and we can do adjustments to parcels, alignments, profiles, cross sections. It can all be done in Infoworks. And if you're worried about doing the work twice, it's like, why would I do it in Infoworks 360 and then redo it again in Civil? That's not the case. So the data goes back and forth very seamlessly. I can lay out everything conceptually in Infoworks and then just export it out to Civil 3D to start doing the detailed design work. So Infoworks 360 and Civil are really going to go hand in hand in this collection. The AutoCAD Map 3D features are still going to be utilized at this point. You may be getting updated GIS data along the way. There still might be some map cleanup to do, so that's still with us. The raster design as well. If you're getting daily aerial images, if you're doing drone flights, to capture the latest information. Again, the raster design is going to handle large image formats. And then the docs, of course, is going to be with us all the way till the end. It's our platform for document sharing and project management. So everything that we're creating on the desktop, when we save and then we share it again, it goes back up to docs in the cloud, and people are getting real-time daily updates of what's going on, even if they don't have AutoCAD. All right, so when you get into the cloud, you'll be able to view documents, see them, see PDFs, and be able to do markups all in the cloud. So as the project progresses, we start to get to the optimization phase. All right, so we're getting towards final design. We're getting into the final requirements are being met. Maybe change orders are coming in. All right, so there's iterative design processes going on as we're deep into the project. And so the tools in the AEC collection help with this. With the iteration, we have Civil 3D. Again, of course, that's the staple. But we can also produce realistic renderings. So as the model becomes complete, we can do 3D renderings in the cloud. We have 3D Max to help out with that as well, to make photorealistic images and animations. Infoworks 360 can also create exported videos with flybys, and you can put in titles along the way. You know, what am I looking at as I'm moving through the project? So all the tools are there. And then the cloud, of course, keeping us up to date with the latest version. All right. If you do need to see yesterday's work or last week's work, you can always go back a version. So the versions are incremented with every check-in of a file. All right, so let's see which products move along with us. So for that, we're primarily using Infoworks and the AutoCAD Civil 3D with the cloud as our platform. Once the project is complete or design is complete, we get into construction. We start having to coordinate with a lot of different hands in the pot. So we're able to connect multidisciplinary teams, including the owners and stakeholders who just want to see what's going on. We're able to analyze and simulate the utility network designs. We can look for problems, clashes, interferences before construction when it's a little less expensive, right? You don't want to have to start digging and then hit something that shouldn't be there. So we can do that with Navisworks, and we'll see how the products kind of tie in on this phase here. All right. So again, we have Infoworks and AutoCAD Civil 3D, but now Navis enters the picture. So that's our collision detection and reporting tool. It also does timelining. You can actually set stages throughout the project, and this will create basically a timeline, and you can kind of see how quantities are being moved around the site, all as the work progresses. And then Recap 360, still there. Now we can do surveys, scannings, drone flights while the construction's going, after post-construction, and see real-time, point cloud changes day to day, and see those clouds overlay the model in Infraworks 360. And then 3D Max kind of enters the picture here. 3D Max will give you those perfect renderings. We've got a final model. If they would like to, put up a nice mural at the end of the day, show the project when it's done, it's going to be photorealistic. It's great to put into PowerPoint presentations. You can create animations and flybys with, real time of day lighting, sunlight, clouds, overcast, everything can all go into 3D Max. So a lot of name dropping here, a lot of different products, but these are the ones that are probably going to fit in with the most with a site design type of a workflow. All right. So I have a quick little video to kind of show you a little bit how these products tie together for site design. So we'll watch this now.
Land development engineers are responsible for converting land into construction-ready housing, commercial or industrial building sites. The Autodesk AEC Collection is a single tool set you can use to plan, design, construct, maintain, and operate land development projects. The Model Builder in Infraworks 360 allows you to easily record the existing conditions of your land development project. Then, by integrating point cloud data from Recap 360, you can further populate additional details into your existing conditions model and generate a more detailed terrain surface. With a more accurate model of your project in Infraworks 360, you can now take the surface model and conduct preliminary design layout. You can start laying out your preliminary subdivision concept, beginning with road designs in your subdivision in both horizontal and vertical configurations that adhere to engineering standards. You're able to use analysis tools to check for lot spacing and build a road styling to help determine lot counts for your project. After completing your preliminary design in Infraworks 360, you can now use Civil 3D to work on more precise lot layout. Use the partial creation tools to fill in the lots and blocks so you can make a lot plan that can be shown in color code in Infraworks 360. This should help facilitate discussions with your client. Once the subdivision design is complete, you can use Autodesk Navisworks to analyze and simulate utility network design. With Navisworks, you can better anticipate and reduce potential clash and interference problems before construction, minimizing expensive delays and rework. The Autodesk AEC Collection provides you with a rich single set of tools to use across the project lifecycle, so you can deliver more scalable, sustainable, and resilient land infrastructure projects.
Okay, so what we get to see there is a bit of the interaction between the products in the collection. We saw Infoworks for sure with the Model Builder and how that grabs GIS information from multiple sources and kind of puts together your base map. And then it even had the design tools for the alignment and profile editing right in Infoworks. And then if you think you're going to duplicate work, you're really not, because it exports right out into Civil 3D to start doing your detailed design. So we also saw a little bit of Navis in there when they talked about the pipes and the clash detection. And then let's just see how Revit ties in when we get into the next video here. Roads and highways. All right, so let's take a look at this and how the collection helps with these types of projects.
Today's surface transportation challenges require smart, sustainable designs, and civil engineers need a single tool set to seamlessly go from planning to design to optimization to construction coordination to documentation. The Autodesk AEC Collection is all you need to design, engineer, and construct higher quality, more predictable road and highway projects. Capturing and modeling existing conditions on a transportation project can be time-consuming. Using Infraworks 360 and Recap 360, this process is streamlined. Model Builder in Infraworks 360 allows you to quickly incorporate existing data to generate an intelligent model of the existing environment of your project. Additional details such as buildings, utilities, street signs, and other features can be easily added to your model. To augment the existing conditions you modeled in Model Builder, Recap 360 allows you to capture elements of your project, such as a roadway section, and bring it into Infraworks 360 as point cloud data. You can then easily process the point cloud to generate terrain or do analysis of your project by applying classification themes for your project like intensity and elevation. Once existing conditions have been recorded, you can begin to conduct the preliminary design layout for your roadway project, easily setting roadway alignments while quickly adding turn lanes, intersections, and overpasses. In addition, generating your preliminary design within the real-world context of the project's existing environment allows you to more effectively communicate with project stakeholders and the public about your roadway project. After authoring the preliminary design roads for your project in Infraworks 360, you can move your model to Civil 3D to perform detailed design. This includes correcting any design violations or reviewing ground profile views to assess cut and fill requirements. You can also generate a corridor and tie it into the roundabout initially modeled in Infraworks 360, and quickly generate your feature lines from the corridor to complete your roundabout detailed design. And if you're designing a bridge, Infraworks 360 allows you to send the object directly to Revit, so you can complete more detailed structural design work. The software automatically builds a full-blown Revit model of the bridge, complete with girders, piers, bearings, and rail components. With your design complete, you can now easily assess the constructability of your project using Autodesk Navisworks. Navisworks allows you to add schedule information from various sources and connect tasks in the schedule with objects in the model to create a simulation. You can see the effects of the schedule on the model and compare planned dates against actual dates. Costs can also be assigned to tasks to track the cost of a project throughout its schedule. The Autodesk AEC Collection provides you with a rich set of tools to use across the project lifecycle, so you can deliver more scalable, sustainable, and resilient road and highway projects.
Okay, so I'm sure that opened a few eyes. Really nice 3D renderings and animations in there. But at this point, I think we're ready to just kind of open it up to discussion and Q&A. So what I'll do is...
Yeah, it seems like we have a few questions coming in here. Again, you guys can use the chat box to write any questions that you might have. We'll go over those. But right now I see one, and the first question is, what level of Autodesk Docs comes with the AEC Collection?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So the Autodesk Docs and BIM 360 Docs platforms are really extensive. And so what you get with the AEC Collection is kind of the entry level. We get you in, and it allows you to have storage space, share your documents. You can get a little bit of insight into the project with some of the project statistics. And there's account administration and a little bit of BIM 360 document management. So we're able to do the versioning, we can see things, we can publish PDF, but it kind of gets your taste buds wet for that, the full BIM 360. And then later, as you start to explore the features of the cloud, it might lead you into other areas like collaboration or collaboration for Civil 3D, where you're able to start sharing your data shortcuts and XREFs and having those all managed in the cloud. But it does give you that entry point, so you can kind of get a feel for it, kind of get used to working in that environment of sharing to the cloud and then pulling things down local to work on them. So yeah, thank you, good question.
Okay, great. Seems like we have another question here. What is the difference between Autodesk Docs and BIM 360 Docs?
Okay, so yeah, you've probably heard a lot about BIM 360. So the BIM 360 Docs was the platform that was kind of originally came out for Revit. It was well integrated into the Revit applications, and then it expanded into the other product line. Whereas the Autodesk Docs is built on the Construction Cloud platform, and that's the one that's being tailored for AutoCAD Civil 3D and the collaboration for it. So when you get the collection, you will have access to both platforms. So the bottom line is you're not locked out of one and not the other. So you're still going to have access to both of these cloud platforms.
Okay, great. And we'll just wait a few more minutes to see if anyone else comes up with another question. Again, the chat box is in the left corner if anyone needs to have another question. All right, and with that, maybe Mike, you want to show us the screen with our contact information in case anyone ever wants to reach out to us?
Yep, certainly. So if you'd like more information on the collection or training, you can reach out to myself for technical questions, or you can reach out to Carolina for any sales-related questions.
Yeah, we're happy to assist you any way we can. And just as a reminder, there is a current summer promotion that we have running for training. So if you register 2 people for training, you get the other one 15% off. Great time to take advantage of that. But other than that, that concludes this webinar, and be sure to be checking out our website for any other webinars that are coming up. Bye, Mike. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks all.